When me was young, me never needed anyone. Making plagues was just for fun. Those days are gone. All by myself.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Igor.
Hey, Nurgle monster. What are you doing over here in the corner all by yourself?
Well, Warboss no paint any Nurgle soldiers for his Warriors of Chaos army, for his Demons of Chaos. To a Nurgle, nobody loves Nurgle.
Oh, that's not true. A whole bunch of new demons came out, and the plastic Plaguebearers that everybody's been waiting for are finally out. He's gonna unbox them right now.
Really?
Yeah, come on, Nurgle monster, let's go.
Me so happy.
Yes, that is right. The new Plaguebearers everybody's been waiting for. Well, if you're a demon player, or if you're a Chaos Space Marine player that takes demon allies, then these are like what you've been waiting for, I guess, because the old ones in metal are just, you know, they're old. You want new plastic stuff, awesomeness. So you get square bases or round bases, which I guess is pretty cool if you play both Warhammer and 40k. Extra bases is always good. These are 25mm, so they're the bigger ones than the 20mm human-sized ones. So say our boy Marcus Wolfhard here is on a 20mm one, and you can see already it's smaller. So they're more substantial, they're bigger. Now, I thought the price was okay, considering that there's only 10 troopers in here. Now, of course, that's because I'm in America, and like I always, whenever I talk about price, I always bite my tongue because I feel so bad for my friends and my viewers out in Australia. It's just ridiculous. So let's move past that, because I'm just trying to think, you know, how feasible is it to build an army with a strong, big core of Nurgle Plaguebearers? If you have to buy up huge hordes of these guys, you know, it might be more feasible to do it in some ways than others, like going the eBay route or like Wayland Games or something like that. Anyways, let's take a look at these models. Or let's take a look at the directions first. I really like the creativity of these sculpts. Here's the guy that most of us might have seen with the mouth on the belly, but they seem to be pretty simple. You glue the front of the torso to the back of the torso, and then you... oh, here's the standard. That looks fantastic. You can either have a Nurgle symbol with a bunch of hanging heads, or the fly symbol, which I think is pretty cool, but I might save that for something else. I think this is a lot cooler to paint up. Yeah, it's cute. They show you what they look like, all built up. And then, yeah, musicians. So what kind of musical instrument is this? It looks like a bone flute, some kind of 3-tone bone flute. Oh, it's so gross. Look at this little Nurgling in their face, like yippee, whoopee, hoo hoo hoo. Nurglings are awesome. I think having these new little Nurglings, I kind of miss the old style of Nurglings. For those of you who've had the old metal Nurglings, they seem to look a lot cuter to me. Before we take a look at the Nurglings, let's take a look at this is a, I don't know why they would have this in the instructions. You've pretty much got this on the front cover of the box, but it's there if you want to see that. So yeah, they have some extra hooked human heads on hooks. You could have them holding... gross. And here are the Nurglings. Oh, this little one doing the handstand with little fat booty in the air. And this one, woo! So, yeah, I love that Nurgle is so playful, I guess. He's kind of like that one Chaos God, you know, the creepy uncle. You've got your, if you've got your 4 Chaos Gods getting together and just hanging out on a Friday night, you know, drinking beer or talking story in your garage, you've got Nurgle, you know, the really friendly, happy drunk. You've got you've got the creepy uncle. Oh, no, no, no! I'm doing my Nurgle review. You got your creepy uncle, Slanesh, I guess would be the creepy uncle, right? With like the mustache and the white van and the dark sunglasses. And then you've got the really angry uncle, drunk, Korn, who is just always angry about his day, talking about how he hates everybody and everything. And then you've got like Uncle Zinch, who just wants to, who's always thinking about, I don't know, changing ways. I don't know, what would Zinch be in like that? If you had like a sitcom with the 4 Chaos Gods, what kind of character would Zinch be? So sorry about that. Should have known to put my phone on silent. Yeah, that's not very nice of you, Master. You know, I'm trying to run a professional, little gig here, and you leave your phone on. Hey, what kind of image is that sending to new upcoming prospective YouTube video makers who are trying to do a good job, who are using your videos as a template? I can't take it. This is unprofessional. This is very unprofessional. You should be ashamed of yourself. What's wrong with you, Master? What is wrong with you? Do I come in over here and do I tell you how to paint your miniatures? No? Well, you don't tell me how to do my job and focus the camera and stop eating all your cats, because I can't take it anymore, Master. I can't take it. And scene. Alright, so let's take a look at the actual sprues, shall we? You get 2 sprues. And that's interesting, because I think this is... Could this be one of the few sprues out there that have only 2 sprues in them for a whole 10 characters? I don't know, it just feels like not that much. What did I want to show you? Okay, let's look at, ooh, look at these heads, I love it. In the Nurgle symbol, the triangle, holding the heads like that. That's fantastic. You get hanging heads. Little Nurgling dudes here. I might just... Oh, I mean, I bought some Nurglings, some actual Nurglings, but I don't know if I would want to use these guys on the bases of my Plaguebearers. They almost seem like you would want to have them, you know, on something else like a Dreadnought, like a Death Guard Dreadnought base or something. I also don't even know, like, would I rather play this in 40k or fantasy? I don't know. Maybe 40k, maybe I'll put them on round bases because you can have them as allies. I don't know. Why do you make it so hard to pick, Games Workshop? You might notice that all of Nurgle's demons eventually get like the Cyclops, one eye in the center with the horn coming out of the head. That was a very big motif in the earlier Plaguebearers, but now you're getting some variation. So you get a Cyclops, but then you get 2 horns. You get this Cyclops, but he's got like 1 horn going up this way and a big horn that way. So, interesting. I'm looking forward to see how much leftover bits we get. Oh, look at this guy. He is just not having a good day. He's like, ah, my hemorrhoid, ah. It's not funny. You shouldn't joke about that kind of stuff. Oh, and look at this guy over here. Oh my gosh, these heads. Okay, these heads are fantastic. Oh, look at that. All right, I'm gonna build these guys up, and we'll see what they look like in just a second. Okay, I'm back, and I just gotta say, these are the best plastic models I've ever put together for a Warhammer or Warhammer 40k product. I think I gotta say that off the bat, like, and that's because I just came off from putting together a whole bunch of Tau Fire Warriors, and those mold lines on the helmets and on the legs and everything just made me so in tune with mold lines. And then with these not old, but like with the newer kits for these Black Knights, the mold lines that were on the front of the legs and stuff. I mean, these new releases for the vampire counts are some of the newer stuff, and just having to deal with those mold lines made me realize, when is Games Workshop ever going to, deal with mold lines in such a way that it's not going to be a problem for an entry-level beginner hobbyist. And these Nurglings and these Plaguebearers are it, actually. So why did I say Nurglings? Because these are the Nurglings that you get on the sprue that have their own little bases on the bottom. You might remember, some of you Orcs and Goblins players out there, I'm just going to pull one up, that these are the Snotlings, the current range Snotlings, although they are by no means, new or current compared to other things, but they had little bases molded on them, so that, and they even had these little pegs so you could drill them and drill little holes into the 40mm stands and then stick them in and glue them. So those old Snotlings are kind of this is kind of reminiscent of that. They each get like a little plate at the bottom of them. And let's take a look at some of the detail on these guys, because they're really fantastic. Here's this little guy, little naked fat Nurgling doing a handstand, mooning the enemy at the same time. That is so hilarious. And on the box he's actually painted like green, like a Nurgling, but his butt cheeks are nice and rosy red. So it's so funny. And look at his expression. Let's get in a little bit closer. Look at this guy's expression. He is just so happy to be on the battlefield. I love it. So I decided to square base him. I know, Great Jojo Man, you hate square bases, but I don't know. Anyways, I don't know why I'm doing it. It just seems like I feel like I'm doing a lot of 40k stuff lately, maybe. I don't know. I was trying to see which had more balance. Which would balance out my armies more, this or a 40k round base army. But I don't know. You know what? Whatever. If I want to end up going 40k, I'll just like rip them off the bases, or just count them as round bases. Ooh, don't show my dirty thumbnail. So these are maggots. Ooh, so gross! That are gonna go onto the 40mm square base. And I'm sorry if I didn't mention it yet, but these are the Nurglings that come on the Plaguebearer sprue that I'm thinking that you can just glue them onto a square 40mm base and count them as another base of Nurglings really nicely. Here's this guy. I love this guy. I was really debating on whether or not to include him on a Plaguebearer, but he's like grabbing a whole bunch of guts and munching down on them. So funny. And here's this guy doing the thriller. And they really went to town with the cartoony aspect of these guys. Really made them look cartoony. Now in comparison, let me show you how awesome these Plaguebearers are. Let me show you what I did with them. Here's one guy that's, back up a little bit. I modeled him to have his tongue sticking out like he's licking his blade. Gross. And then you're gonna give him a nice disgusting paint job to capitalize on that. And look at the quality of these new sculpts. So why did I say that these were the best plastic pieces I've ever put together from a Games Workshop product? Because usually there's always a mold line somewhere, like in a very obvious place, along the side of the leg, down the front of the leg, along the arms, along the back of the arms, by the shoulders. And really, I found them, but it took me a very long time looking at each piece, because they're so individually made. The arms are not all bent at the same angle. Everything is, you really have to look for the mold lines, and I was so pleased as punch, out of my mind happy that Games Workshop finally made a model kit that you don't have to be very proficient in, cleaning, and you can just pick up and put together and start painting And when I first started, the cleaning of the mold lines on my little night goblins was just so atrocious for me. I love this guy because he's got a little nurgling on his base, like pulling his guts out of his body, and he's like, wow, that hurts so much. Ah! I love it. So each one of these guys has like their own individual feel to them. The faces, man, the heads, they really outdid themselves with sculpting the heads. Look at this guy's left leg. It looks like his left leg is like a pile of poo. Oh, maybe that's how I'll paint it. Oh my gosh. So I read this book, if you remember me talking about it a little while back, called Palace of the Plague Lord or something. And it describes when, you know, this little ragtag group of I won't call them heroes, anti-heroes, because they're all like Chaos Marauders and Chaos Warriors, go up to Nurgle's realm in the Chaos Wastes, and their descriptions of the Plaguebearers and of the atmosphere up there, and just the landscape, and all these creatures, and even like the way they would say, the writer said that the sky was the color of, you know, urine, and everything had this sickly yellowish green haze around it. It just made you feel really, really sick. Like, I loved it. Some of these guys have almost like this aquatic, fishy kind of aspect to them. This guy's spine definitely reminds me of like the spines of a fish. And some of these guys, like, let me see. Man, this guy's head, I had to include this head. This head is so cool with the snout. Oh, that just looks so cool. A lot of these guys remind me of Call of Cthulhu-ish. Like, look at all these open sores, and this guy's got a little, I just know he's got a little nurgling popping his head out of his stomach, like, hee hee hee. That little guy next to Jabba the Hutt. Alright, now we're getting into the command, so here's the standard bearer. Look at his face. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, so disgusting. Nurgle Plaguebearers is so gross. The standard top, I love it. I think this is definitely the way to go. It glued on really, really easily. The join was really nice and slick. When you use, you know, the plastic cement that I use, it just came together really nicely. Do we see this guy? He's got like a fly head. Oh, this reminds me of the movie The Fly. Oh, Jeff Goldblum. So good. So creepy. So yeah, these guys, much more so than the Bloodletters and the Demonettes. These guys are like straight out of a Cthulhu nightmare. Ugh. Awesome. Champion holding 3 death's heads, and his face with his eyes and a triangle. Like, he's got the triangle motif all over his body, like his eyes, his torso. He's holding the 3 heads. Just really, really fantastic. The sculpts of the swords, I mean, just the random, almost like bone or coral aspect of the swords, just looks really, really nice. And here's the musician. And I decided to give him a little nurgling swinging off of his intestines. Yay! So he's in like his action pose. Let's see, he's not really attached to the base, he's just kind of attached by the 2 intestines pieces. So really like that. And I love how he's playing the flute. He's got his little pinky up, very dainty, like a lady. Alright, so A+, 100% ease of putting these guys together. It's fantastic. What's left on the sprue? Lots of heads. 1, 2, 3 heads on this one. 4 heads left on the sprue. Where I don't know what you would do with these guys. Maybe decorate some Grey Knights with them. If you have any Grey Knight friends who want some Grizzly trophies, even though I guess demons, they're supposed to immaterialize, right? Once they're dead, they don't leave like a physical body behind. I also didn't put these death heads on because I think I might be able to use them for other pieces, like if I ever do a 40k Death Guard army, which I don't know, it's sounding more and more fun. You also get arms for, like, if you decide not to use the musician and standard bearer. So here's a guy holding a Nurgle marked weapon. Here's a 5th head. And these heads are so good, like, they're all different. Not like the Night Goblin kit or the Orcs and Goblin kit or any of the more recent plastic kits where you only get like a choice of, like, you know, 3 or 4 different options and you just mix and match them how you want. These guys are almost all of the heads are different and amazing. You get the other standard here that you don't use, whichever standard you don't use. So this is the Fly Rune one. I just figured this would look nicer on a Dreadnought or a tank. So I decided to use the other one. Now the Death's Head here. They call them Death's Head, but I think they're just like skulls on rings. And they say you can hook them onto a finger, just like have them like holding onto them. So that might be cool. There's an extra arm with a piece of bone sticking out of it. So, extra bits left over? Yes, awesome. You get a lot, and I love them. And I just gotta say, Games Workshop home run with these kits. Really, really fantastic. I enjoyed putting them together. This was one of the first model kits in a long time where putting together 10 guys was fun. It was fun, it was interesting. It kept my interest. It wasn't like a bunch of, you know, same Imperial Guardsmen, Space Marine, Tau. Or even, you know, like Skaven and Empire. Most kits look the same, and this is the first kit in a long time where everything looks different. The heads are all different, their expressions, everything was fun, interesting, and new. So if you have never collected demons before, if you're an old player and you're thinking about getting into demons, definitely I would suggest starting with these guys. They have great rules, I think, even though the Feel No Pain in 40k has changed in 6th edition from a 4+ to a 5+. I think the kits, from a modeler's, painter's perspective, I'm going to have a lot of fun painting these guys up. I had a lot of fun building them up. There's a lot of extra pieces left over for conversions, so overall, great kit. Great kit. I had a lot of fun with them, and I know you will too. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this little War Boss Tay unboxing, and we'll see you in the next one. Are you happy, Nurgle Monster?
Me happy, me have new friends. Yay!